What's good, family? Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this video quick. Yeah, man, this chick had hit me up on the dating site, left me a message talking about, I guess she read my profile. She was like, you're looking for a helper or like a helper, basically, a servant, not a wife. Okay, she said you're looking for a helper, not a wife. And you already know how I'm thinking. I'm like, you idiot. You 40 years old, and you don't even realize that a wife, her whole purpose is to be a helper. She was created to help the man. She was created to help the man, bro. She was created as a servant to the man, bro, to further whatever it is he doing, and for the purpose of procreation. Like, these women, and I'm like, yeah, I understand. You 40 years old, and you no wonder you ain't got no man. You should know this by now. You 40, you 4 decades old. As a woman, you 4 decades old, and she had 2 kids. Talking about you want to help her. See, man, bruh, these women don't even know. They chickens with the head cut off. They don't even know their whole purpose in life. The woman is a tree branch, and the man is a tree. The woman is a derivative of the man. The man is created in the direct image of God, and the woman is a derivative created out of the man. You are a derivative. You come from the man. See, this culture in America done really blew up hoes' heads, man. They don't even know their own purpose. See, that's why women need them, man. They really do, man. See, what we got here in the West, man, is just women flying here, flying there, staying over there for weeks and months. And I think I'm just going to go to Thailand for a few months, or I'll go over there. This is what, white culture is, just allowing bitches to float here, float there, and complain that other countries keep their women restricted. But look at what you got in, these white countries, bro. You just, mainly America. But the European women, they be floating here, floating there. It's a bunch of free liberated hoes, bro. No order, no structure. The birth rates have diminished because these women want to body bag their babies and just they want to stay in shape and continuously have sex with various dudes. And having a baby is going to tie them down. So a family, the mentality of the Western woman is to go out in her 20s, sow her wild oats, and somewhere around her mid-30s or something, settle down with a sucker who she don't even respect anyways. Because she like, why would a dude, how can I respect a dude? Think about this. She's thinking in her mind, the dude at the end of the rainbow, she cannot respect him. Because she done did so much stuff in her life with so many various dudes and some really degenerate stuff for the dollar and for free. And she has low self-esteem no matter what kind of bravado she put on her. Oh, I got a degree, or I stayed in, what'd she say, Japan for a month. Who cares if you stay in Japan for a month, bro? What was you doing in Japan? Other than being the fattest American chick there, the almost overweight chick there. And, a lot of men in other countries where's the reverse passport bros? Right? Where's the men from it's kind of hard to even, like, that's crazy, ain't it? Where's the reverse passport bros movement? Other than some dude, some dude trying to get a green card or something like that. I know of that, like a African dude got with a black chick. He got a green card. He's in IT, and he pivoted her in order to get her, green card. That does happen, but that ain't. Where are the men saying, I can't wait to get to America to find me a feminine American wife? What dudes in Brazil is coming to America? What dudes? What? I would be surprised. Maybe y'all got stats on it. What men are coming from around the world reverse passport broing this thing, coming to America to get these strong, independent, masculine women because they just can't wait to take these masculine women back to their countries. Forget being in the DR and being a regular dude in the DR and having feminine, good-looking, curvaceous females. And you don't even have to have a lot of money. Forget all those chicks. Let me go to America, give me a high expectation, yet bring nothing to the table female, and bring her back to my country. What Asian dudes? Yes, I'm going to bring Shanquisha and Karen back to my country. Forget about these feminine Asian women who cook and clean the rice for me. No, I'm going to go back to America to get a masculine, tattooed, ball-busting Karen or Keisha. Like, yeah, you know, these like the reverse passport, bro, it don't exist, bro. What men are going to America to get these women? And they should ask themselves this, but they don't. But anyways, you know, these women, man, they she asked me, oh, you think you need a helper, and instead of you just want to help her, basically be a boss of her chick. Yes, I am a boss. What do you think this is? You 40 years old or was 34? I forgot what it was. Around 40. And you asking me with 2 kids. And I'm like, you ain't got it figured out. You understand me? Yo, parents didn't put you up on game as to the purpose of a female, bro, in the proper order of things. You just want to help her instead of a wife. A wife is a helper, you idiot. The wife's job is to help her man, help him in this business, help him do this, help him sexually release, help him raise the children, help him, cooking and cleaning, help him. You need you to work another job, help him in his business or whatever. Your job is to support the dude, help the dude. You know, like what do you think your purpose is, man? And that's I think that when you don't have a proper culture, you have a culture where women just kind of do whatever the heck they want to do, kind of like in America where you got just a bunch of naked women walking around with bras and panties, yoga bras and yoga panties. It's like just a bunch of headless hoes. You know what I mean? Like they got it's just it's hard to. It's like, what's my motivation, bro? What's my motivation to take this woman like seriously? This is a prostitute, bro. This is just a hoe for play or a hoe for pay. I mean, there's nothing serious here. I'm not going to take a woman walking around with bra and panties on, literally, in the grocery store. I'm not going to take her seriously. And I'm sexually aroused by her because her body is good looking and it's naked, basically. And most women look good naked. So, women in America just have a warped sense and misunderstanding of her purpose, bro. And the thing is that they never really have to be put on. They never have to really understand their purpose. They just float along in life, go criticize. Yeah, I want to serve her. Yeah, I want to help her. What do you think this is? What do you think your purpose in life is? And probably clearly you don't know what it is because you're sitting around with 2 kids. You know what I mean? And you're a single mother at 40. So for some reason you wasn't intelligent enough to stay with a dude and do what was necessary and stay in your position with the dude that you had them kids with. Or maybe it was just a jump off. But, you don't want to serve it. You can criticize. Yeah, that's what I want. I'm just being honest about it. I'm not going to lie to you. If you're going to be taken seriously, yeah. Yeah, see what I'm saying? I think she got angry because I had no single mothers in my profile. That's probably what it is. So she got triggered about that. But hey, it is what it is. My main thing, man, is when women ain't got no, like they say, they ain't got no instructions, they headed for self-destruction. I don't care about her degree. I don't care about, how much money she got. She makes 6 figures. The problem with women is that they need guidance. The main thing she ain't got, she's empowered by the society to work a job and make 6 figures and do all the financial accolades kind of thing. But when it boiled down to it, she empty because she ain't got no man. where she got a bunch of men. She got men, but she ain't got the men that, you know what I mean, she actually respect. And a masculine man who's commanding and is going to demand of her, you know what I mean, a regular masculine man is going to tell her, you can't do this, you can't do that. She don't really want, you know what I mean, she find him, you know, she respect him, but she can't be with that because that a masculine brother like us is going to tell her, like, if you're going to be in my life, there ain't no equality here. It's other than just hitting cheeks and, you know, going to sleep. All right, if it's that kind of situation, then it is what it is. But if you want a woman in your life, these chicks say they want relationships. The type of relationship you want to give us a real man, he gonna demand of you, whether he be rich or poor, he gonna demand of you. You understand me? What you need to be doing and what you can and can't do. He gonna regulate you. And so, a lot of these chicks, they don't want to be with a dude that's gonna regulate them. They know who type of dudes we are. You gonna get told what to do, and they know what they, you know. They know that women's whole survival mechanism is understanding different men's personality types. You know, I don't care about all that strong, independent bull crap. Her survival is predicated upon understanding different men's personality types for her own survival. So she know what kind of men, just some idiot dudes or an F-boy or a serious dude going, and you don't want to mess with that dude. She knows the power. These women are energy vampires. They understand different types of men. Yeah, when the stuff hit the fan, they'll gravitate to you and all that. But forget these hoes, man. This chick talking about you want to help her. Look, man, what purpose do you serve other than you're going to help me sexually release, which you already doing because you got 2 kids, right? They got that part, but I ain't cooking. It's kind of crazy because the older a chick get, most of the time, the more degenerate she get. Well, the more like stubborn and things that she say that she ain't gonna do for you. She get more stubborn in her ways, talking about, I ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. You, in the reality is, bitch, you 40 years old. You need to be more accommodating. You need to, but see, the older she get and the more she accomplishes and the more she get used to doing things her own way, the less. See, a woman is supposed to be moldable, like putty, and you know what I mean, and maneuvering towards a man's program. But more that she out in her own life doing her own thing and doing things her own way, she gonna have her own program, and she not gonna try to submit to what he talking about. And submission is like a cuss word to these masculine chicks. So the more she, you know, but in reality, she believed that her value is getting better the more older that she get. But the reality is she becomes less valued. She end up being a cat lady, bitter. I ain't gonna do nothing. You really need to be bound down, bro. Like, you really need to be super bound down. You old, you understand me? And you need to be like super bound down. But the older they get, man, I used to wonder that, man. Why these old chicks be bitter and no, I'm not doing that. No, like, bitch, you don't even look as good as you used to look. You need to be like completely compliant. But that's the way of these women, bruh. So yeah, I found that pretty funny, man. Sending me a message out of nowhere talking about you want a servant or a helper. You don't want no wife. I do want a wife. A wife is a servant, idiot. These women, like, they are not in a proper, they just don't got no guidance, man. They just guiding themselves, man. They just doing, you know, just a bunch of basically grown kids walking around naked, bro, with bra and panties on, bro. These women, you know, they don't really know pretty much nothing about like the deep things of life, man. They might be educated or they might be able to divorce their husband and they got a bunch of money or something, and, you know, where they know how to finesse simps up out of their money. But when it comes to the deep things and the order of life, yes, I mean, the word of the Most High, the order of life, the purpose of life. These women don't know nothing like that, man. And that's why a man need to guide them, bro. Like, you got women who look real good. Excuse me. But, I mean, they look real good, but then they don't really know anything more than just looking good. But it's enough to get by because you in America. You know what I mean? Women, in real talk, women ain't really supposed to, they're not really that deep. You know what I mean? Primarily it's us who's the ones that's deep. We got the knowledge and, you know what I mean, and all that stuff. But see, the women don't really want all that knowledge. Nobody telling them what to do, basically. Keeping it simple. They don't want nobody telling them what to do. And they know that many of us know what the right way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And how to orchestrate their life, but they don't want to be under your umbrella. A lot of these women. But yet they know the certain type of dudes, man. So I just found that pretty funny. And bro complaining about my doggone profile. But what triggered you? The point is, she read my profile. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, oh, okay. That means that my physicals must have attracted you, but you read my profile and complained about it and wrote me a letter. So she probably just angry because she don't qualify. But that is not probably going to stop her, very likely, from still floating around on my profile. You know what I mean? Because she feel rejected. Plus, I didn't respond to her. So that's probably going to make her stay around the profile even further. But I don't know. That just kind of got me to thinking about, women don't have no instructions, man. They just walking around headless. See, the man is the head. The man is a guide. And these women are like headless chicken walking around with their heads cut off. The men being the heads. They've cut off the man, which is where you get your guidance from, where you get your knowledge. The physical head of the body is where all the computer and all that stuff is. The central processing, base, all your nerve. The head is the head. The man is the head. We're the heads. The woman is a part of the body too, but she got to be up under the authority of the headship of the man. Otherwise, yes, she is serving. Yes, she's a helper. Yes. And she benefit heavily by being under a man who can guide her. She benefit heavily because if she follow his instructions, she going to have a blessed life. She follows instructions. She ain't going to have to be thinking and making stupid decisions and destroying herself. Because a man of authority and with proper guidance is going to guide her in the proper direction so that she don't have to make, heavy decisions. Those decisions can be made for her. You know what I mean? So then she also get, the excuse that, hey, if it don't work, I can blame him, right? So she, she don't have to have the responsibility of making decisions for herself. And that's, to me and you, we like, oh, decisions, that's no big deal. But to a woman, she don't know how to make decisions. Neither should she not really even, she wasn't made to make decisions for herself. Real talk. She was made to serve and help. I ain't saying she can't make no decisions, but, generally how she's supposed to carry herself. That's why women walk around naked, no guidance, bro. Like, where's your father to put you in place and kick you in the butt and say, look, what the hell's wrong with you? You're not going outside looking like this. But remember, if she grew up in a feminist society with a strong, independent mother who kicked the father out of the children's lives, the strong, independent, whorish mother is going to raise her daughter to be a yoga panty and yoga bra wearing whore out here, which is what we see now. The women gonna raise whores. That's if she even know who the father is, man. So it's just a cycle kind of thing, man. Well, you just want to serve it. You don't want a wife. You don't understand your actual role, woman. Your woman's role is to serve, is to help her man in whatever capacity he say so. That's your job. And if this offends you, then hey, It is what it is. There's certain roles, man. Lion is at the top of the food chain. Hyenas and lions don't never get together. Water is wet. Nighttime is dark. The sun is bright. Grass is green. Women are servants. I mean, get with the program. Where'd you go to school about this? You didn't learn this in school? You didn't learn this from your mother? Your mother didn't teach you this? Your father didn't teach you this? You asked me a question that you should have learned. You was like 12 years old, a little girl playing with dolls. You should have learned about cooking and cleaning and serving and helping, all that kind of stuff, and taking care of babies. You didn't learn this when you was a kid? Who hurt you? Who neglected you, man? You didn't learn this? You learned this is elementary. You didn't learn this in elementary school. When I was in elementary school, was it elementary? Or was it middle school? They had home economics. And they had chicks, and basically what they would learn in home economics is sewing. It was in high school too. I'm not sure. I think it was middle school, but women learn sewing. You had a few fruitcakes in the home economics class, but very limited. But majority of women was up in there. They learned sewing. They learned cooking. It was always smelling good going down that, down to one of my classes. It was always something cooking, bruh. And they learned whatever else they learned. I know it was sewing and cooking, though. And, so that's serving. A woman's role is not just, the woman's role is to serve and to help in whatever capacity her specific man tells her she needs to serve in. A woman is supposed to really meld into what his program is. The problem is these chicks is on their own program of feminism, and they're guiding themselves, they're guided by whatever trend is trending and stuff. But a real feminine woman is going to stick to her man and mold to what he's talking about. You know what I mean? Mold, if he say you need to work and you need to do it, that's what you need to do. He say you need to be working on my business, you need to work on my business. You need to work this job, you work this job. And you bring the money in to me, and I'll orchestrate the money. Or you need to stay home and take care of the kids. That's what you need to do. A woman needs job purposes to meld into whatever the man talking about, his program. So a lot of these women just got it, they got it twisted. You want a servant, helper. You don't want no wife. Like I said, you didn't learn this in junior high, elementary, what a wife is. Your mama didn't teach you this. She probably was too busy conceiving you behind a dumpster, behind one of them bars or something. So, she ain't had time to really teach you what a purpose of a woman is. But, yeah, let me teach you, you know what I mean? Purpose of a woman is to serve and help her man and be in his program. That's the purpose of a woman. And if she, if she ain't under her father and keeping that house clean and orderly and stuff and learning those domestic skills up under her father's authority, guided by her mother, then she, and when she is distributed from her father to her new husband, her new overseer, guider, and director, and protector. Now she under her husband, and she carry those skills on and teach those to her daughter. That's how it is. Like, you understand me? It's the role of a woman. Don't fight against it. Don't rebel against it. It is what it is. Your job is to help and serve. You understand me? Lions hunt, cows eat grass, birds fly, dogs bark, cats meow, water is wet, the sky is up, rain is wet, the sun is bright, and women are servants, bro. It just is what it is. Women are underneath the man, and just let it be what it is. The woman, her job is to fit whatever program he got going on to help him in it, man. And it's going to help the woman. A decent woman A decent woman is gonna help build her man. If he's a decent dude, he's gonna reciprocate, and everybody's going to eat. Because if you help build him in whatever you're doing, the reality is that us as men and women ain't really supposed to be separated like this. And it's a lack of understanding of the order of things. And primarily men in general, other than like, say, simps, and there's a lot of simps out here. But your average dude in general he understands a male role. It's the guy to be the leader, and all that kind of stuff. But the woman is the one primarily that's out of her mind. Now you do have these simps and idiots out here who want to follow the lead of a female and all that. But that's not. I think that I don't know what percentage that would be, but most men, is traditional. You know what I'm saying? They just want a regular cool chick that's going to be on this program and help them out. Men don't really demand that much. I'm more of a demanding man. I think about this stuff and I write lists of what I want her to do, that kind of stuff. You got to do this, I don't take a lot of bull crap. You know what I'm saying? But most dudes is not as demanding as me. You know what I mean? But again, I'm a special kind of brother, But, well, yeah, man, we're not supposed to be separated like we is in America. We're supposed to be together and, on the right, proper wavelength and the right, order. But America strategically separate the man from the woman type of thing. But I just found that funny, and it triggered this whole video. I'm like, you just don't understand. You must not have learned that in elementary school, maybe even kindergarten, the skills that a woman's supposed to be learning. But let me put you up on game. You are a servant, you know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with that. It's not a diminished order. Like I said, it's established order. You got the male lion, you got the female lion. It's an established order that he's the dominant one. And all of them, even if it's 5 females, they could probably defeat this one male lion. But when it's time for him to eat, he come and dominates the prey. Why? Because it just is what it is. You understand? Like we got, in the ulterior, it's kind of crazy how the Most High created different things in order to show, like, light and dark, up and down, wet and dry, rainforest and desert, right? Male and female, everything is in twos, right? And even in the lion kingdom versus the hyena, they're like the 2 main competitors in like Africa, so far as predators. On the plains is the lions and the hyenas, 2 basic, predators, top predators. But then you see the 2 different lifestyles. In the lion kingdom is more of a patriarchy, whereas the hyena kingdom is a matriarchy, led by the female matriarch female. She eats first, and it's a bunch of confusion. The males are all smaller than the females and ousted and kicked out. The women rule. The matriarchal system is the matriarch, rules over the men in the hyena kingdom. Whereas in the lion kingdom, the men, it's crazy how you see those 2 different type of approaches, not approaches, but systems. The hyena kingdom is more matriarchal, like in the Black American community, whereas the patriarchal system is where the male lion is in charge, or male lions, and they dominate the female lion. The women go out there, go get that food, go get that money, and the man say, gimme, 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 I eat first. Why? Because it's nature, bro. So why you want a helper or a servant? You don't want a wife. Yeah, well, a wife is a servant. Again, you didn't learn this. It's just nature. You should already learn this about nature. So anyways, don't want to make this video too much longer. But anyways, brothers, like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to donate to the channel, go ahead and do so using the Cash App in the description. Peace.